Watch the most savage person in any room. They don't yell. They don't insult anyone. They just say one sentence and the whole room goes quiet. I used to think savage meant mean. Cutting. Cruel comebacks that make people flinch. So I tried it. I said the harsh thing. I made the joke at someone's expense. And you know what happened? People didn't respect me. They just stopped trusting me. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Real savage isn't about hurting people. It's about never needing to. By the end of this video, you'll know the 5 levels of savage, from weak to devastating, and the one rule that separates people who look tough from people who actually are. Stay until the end, because the last one isn't even about what you say. It's about what you refuse to do, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. 3 years ago, my manager humiliated me in front of the entire team. Maybe if you actually prepared for meetings, we wouldn't be behind schedule. Everyone looked down at their laptops. My chest went tight. I mumbled something about the client changing requirements, and the meeting moved on like nothing happened. But something in me didn't move on. I went home that night replaying it, not just angry at him, angry at myself, because I had the facts. I had done the prep work. I just didn't say a word in my own defense. I told myself I was being professional. Really, I was being small. That was the moment I got obsessed with this question. Why do some people walk into a room and command respect without raising their voice, while the rest of us shrink the second someone challenges us? I spent the next 2 years studying it, not from books that tell you to just be confident, from watching actual people. The ones who never lose their composure. The ones who somehow win every exchange without ever looking like they're trying. Here's what I found. Being savage isn't a personality, it's a skill, and it has levels. Level 1. The flat denial. The weakest form of savage is simple. Someone insults you. You don't flinch, and you don't play along. Picture this. A coworker says, "Wow, must be nice to get credit for work other people did." The old you laughs it off, says something like, "Ha, yeah, I guess." That laugh is surrender. You just agreed with them. The savage version is flat. No emotion, no joke. Just, that's not what happened. Then silence. You don't defend, you don't explain, you don't soften it. You state the fact and stop talking. This works because most insults are designed to make you scramble. The second you scramble, they win. When you refuse to scramble, the insult has nowhere to land. It just sits there in the air, awkward, belonging to them now instead of you. The problem with level 1? It's defensive. You're not in control yet. You're just refusing to lose. There's a stronger move. Level 2. The mirror question. Someone says something cutting. Instead of reacting, you hand it back to them as a question. Your friend says, "Are you seriously wearing that?" The instinct is to explain yourself. Don't. Instead, ask calmly, "What about it?" Just 3 words. Watch what happens. Now they have to explain their own rudeness out loud. Most people never planned for that. They stammer, they backtrack. "No, I just meant..." You said almost nothing, and they did all the work of losing. This is savage because it exposes the comment instead of absorbing it. You haven't attacked them, you've just refused to catch what they threw. But here's the limit. If someone is truly aggressive, a question can look like weakness, like you didn't understand the insult. Sometimes you need something with more weight behind it. Level 3. The unbothered pause. This is where it gets interesting, because this level isn't about words at all. Someone tries to embarrass you in front of others. Before you say anything, you pause. Not an awkward pause, a deliberate one. 2 full seconds. Maintain eye contact. Let the silence sit there. Heavy, doing the work for you. Then respond, slowly, like you have nowhere else to be. Most people's brains are wired to fill silence immediately. That urge to respond fast is actually panic wearing a disguise. When you resist it, you signal something powerful. This didn't rattle me enough to rush. Speed signals fear, slowness signals control. I tried this in a negotiation last year. Someone pushed back hard on my price. My old instinct was to justify myself immediately. This time, I just paused, looked at them, waited. They got uncomfortable and lowered their own demand before I said a word. Silence had done more than any argument could have. The catch is that this only works if the silence is genuine. If you're faking calm while panicking inside, people can usually tell. Composure has to be real, or at least real enough in the moment. That's a hard skill. Which brings us to something even sharper. Level 4. The surgical truth. If you've ever watched someone say one quiet sentence that completely ends an argument, this is what they used. Most people, when attacked, throw everything they've got. 10 reasons why they're right. The savage move is the opposite. You say one true thing so precisely aimed that there's nothing left to argue with. Someone says, "You always think you know better than everyone." Instead of listing every time you were right, you say one line. "I think you're upset, not that I'm wrong." That's it. No shouting, no list, no defense. Just one observation they can't easily deny because it's not really about the argument, it's about what's actually happening underneath it. This works because most people are prepared for an argument. They are not prepared for the truth. A single accurate sentence lands harder than 100 angry ones, the same way one well-placed move in chess beats 10 reckless ones. If you've ever had someone go quiet after you said something calm and true, tell me in the comments, because that moment is exactly what we're talking about. And if this is helping you rethink how you handle these moments, hit like. It tells YouTube to show this to more people who need it. Subscribe because the final level is the one most people never figure out on their own. Level 5. The refusal to perform. Here's where almost everyone gets savage wrong. They think it's about the perfect line, the comeback that goes viral, the moment everyone in the room kites. But the most savage people I've studied almost never have a moment at all, because true savage isn't a performance for the room. It's the complete removal of the need for one. Let me tell you what happened with my manager, the one from the story earlier. 8 months after that meeting, he tried something similar again, in front of the same team. Are we sure this plan is actually ready, or are we just hoping? The old me would have jumped to defend every detail. This time, I looked at him and said, "It's ready. Happy to walk you through it after, if you want the specifics." Then I turned back to the group and kept going. No comeback, no mic drop, nothing quotable. And that was exactly the point. I didn't need the room to see me win because I wasn't performing for the room anymore. He was. He needed an audience for his comment to work. I didn't need one for my response to work. That difference is the whole game. This is the part almost nobody teaches because it doesn't look impressive on camera. Real savage has nothing to prove. It doesn't need witnesses. The version of you that needs people to see you win an exchange is still, in some way, asking for their approval. The version that walks away unbothered, whether anyone noticed or not, that's the one people actually fear crossing. So which level is the real one? Here's where most people get it backwards. They think savage means picking the sharpest line and using it every time. That's not it. Master all 5 levels, and you can still come across as bitter or worse, insecure if you use them the wrong way in the wrong moment. The secret underneath all of it is this. Every one of these levels only works if you're not afraid of the outcome. Not afraid of the silence after you speak. Not afraid of the other person getting upset. Not afraid of looking for a second like you didn't win. That fear is the actual thing people are reacting to when they call someone savage. It's not the words. It's the absence of fear behind the words. You can say the exact same sentence as someone else, and if you say it from fear, it sounds defensive. Say it without fear, and it sounds like a fact nobody can argue with. Psychologists who study assertiveness draw a clear line here. Assertiveness means standing your ground while still respecting the other person's right to their own view. Aggression means trying to win at their expense. The difference isn't the sharpness of what you say. It's whether you're trying to protect yourself or trying to dominate someone else. The people who look truly savage, the ones who never seem rattled, are almost always doing the first thing, not the second. So before you learn the perfect line, work on the thing underneath it. Get comfortable with silence. Get comfortable with someone being upset with you. Get comfortable not needing the last word. Once you stop fearing the reaction, you'll find the right words show up on their own and they'll land harder than anything you could have scripted. That's the real secret behind every savage person you've ever admired. They weren't quicker. They just weren't scared. Thanks for watching, and until next time.